Hello FlossTube, welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is Garden Goose Stitcher Floss Tube, where I talk about my cross stitch and my life. It's Floss Tube number 13. Today is February 28th, the last day of the month. Tomorrow is March. Can you even? I can't. I'm back from my cruise. Thank you for all the wonderful comments, and thanks for anybody who's found me this recently and said hello and stopped by. I had a really good time reading your comments. I cannot express to you how much I enjoy your comments. Even if I only heart it and I can't think of something to say, because a lot of times the only thing I can think to say is, you're so kind. And I do comment that a lot because I just, you guys say such nice things usually. and I appreciate you. So thanks for being here or stopping by. Well, and I'm happy to know you. I don't know if that sounds so weird to say, because this is kind of like a one-way mirror. I don't know. So we're back from our cruise. We got back on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. It's a bit of a time warp over here. I do know I need groceries. There was an ice storm yesterday, but the laundry is done. Okay, I vacuumed. The laundry is done. But we're going to have to go out for Taco Tuesday today because I didn't get groceries. And there was an ice storm yesterday and we don't have milk. So we had a lot of stuff like that I had put in the freezer before. Anyway, guys. Anyway, we had an amazing time on our cruise. Did I record daily? No, I did not. Did I record once and think I would do it? Yes. Did I? No. Do you all know that my follow through is poor? Yes. We all know that my follow through not so great. We had an amazing time. I did not get seasick, which I was quite worried about. Everyone in my family is prone to seasickness, you guys, and car sickness. Not me. Just strong, emotionally constipated. I hold everything in. I felt fine. Don't want to make a fuss my whole life. Anyway, we had a great time. We left out of Fort Lauderdale. Our rooms were amazing. We had conjoined rooms with balconies on the 12th level. Next time I'd be down a little bit more. A little bit more down. Up on the 12th floor, it was fantastic. We were on the Liberty of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. We cruised that night, and we were all like, "Whoa, I can feel everything," but I didn't feel bad or anything. Then the next day we went to Coco Cay. I went immediately to Chill Island. The boys went to the Thrill water park thing. They came up like an hour and a half or 2 hours later and sat with me. I just sat there and cross-stitched. And it was like white sand beaches, like perfect sugar sand beaches, blue water. I was like, this water is so blue. Do you think they dye it? Because I don't know if you know that, but people dye ponds. It helps with like the weeds and stuff. I don't know, guys. Anyway, but it was so wonderful. So the guys only made it a while. He came and sat with me. The food was good on the island. We sat there until we were baked and cooked and sweaty and sticky, and then we were done. So we went back on. Each night, I think, almost every night, we went to the entertainment, like really late, like once, like the 10 o'clock show. So we went and saw the comedy act. It wasn't that funny. Then I was thinking, like, it was funny if you were trying to have a comedy act that was suitable for all ages, you know, and not touch anything that was political or, you know, all those things that make normal comedians really funny. But, you know, anyway, but the Magician comedy show was hilarious and amazing. We went to, they had an ice rink. They had an ice show that was really good. They had an aerial show, like where the people were like on rubber bands of some sort. I don't know. And that was really good. I think we only missed one night, and it was like a Broadway show or like something. I don't know. We really like sitting next to the bar. Like, we didn't get a drink package, guys, because listen, we are thrifty people. Remember, we did Dave Ramsey, and I could not rationalize $70 per person per day. I couldn't. So we spent like $20. We each got a couple of cocktails, you know, like it was fine. We had a great time. We just sat there. They had live music there. We went to another club and sat while somebody performed. Just great. Like, the atmosphere is so great. The day at sea, I learned a lot. Okay, it was a lot of people, you guys. Like, So many people go on those boats. They're all there. So the day at sea, and there was not a cloud, and I got overheated, and then the guy was in my room and I wanted to go rest anyway. Next time on the day of sea, I'm just going to sit on my balcony and read or cross stitch, or read and cross stitch, because I don't think that the pool deck or the deck with all the people is my thing. Okay. It's just not. The next day we went to Nassau, Bahamas. We took a little ferry. We took a ferry and it took us to this like blue lagoon, and the water, again, the water is like gorgeous blue. Sand is like literally like sugar, like, and but it was like in this little cove, so it was protected, and I thought we were going to like the beach with the ocean, but and it was like, it had this weird current, and it was like a puddle, you guys. Listen, my family has a 7-acre pond that we go to regularly, and it's a pond, you know, it's not a lake. And this was like half that size or a quarter of that size. And I thought I was being like fussy. I didn't say anything. I said something inside my heart, but I didn't say it outside because, again, I'm constipated when it comes to my feelings and emotions and opinions most of the time. But then I heard somebody else sit down and they were like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted the ocean, but you had to pay more to go to the ocean. The other side of it, but it was fine. It was relaxing and wonderful. The ferry was fine. The dessert, you guys, oh my god, David and Nathan both gained like 5-6 pounds each. I did not, but the dessert, I would go on a cruise again, just because you can have like a bite of 5 different desserts. That's probably why they did it, because I had like a bite from each one, but they ate all of them, and they tried one of each. So, but like, I texted Tammy, because she's a cruiser, and I was like, this house is dumb. There's no dessert here. Like, if there's anything for dessert, I'm gonna have to make it. She's like, oh, it's the worst. You have to make your own bed. I was like, yeah, I know. Well, because of the night shifter, our bed is only made like a couple days a week. Because anyway. The cruise was great. I don't know if I'd go again. It just so happens that while we were coming back to port and we got all of our internet back or whatever, I saw the announcement that at Stacy's Creative Studio, she's having a retreat in Clearwater next February. And it ended up that Emily Call is going to be the designer that's featured, and they had announced it, and I was like, oh, Dave, I'm going to go to this retreat next February. Too bad we couldn't just like come to Clearwater and do spring break then, and then I could go to the retreat. And he's like, I'd be up for that. And I was like, are you serious? Because he also, and he likes stuff, but the the day at sea was a bit much for him. He's like, I would rather just sit on a beach for a week. And I said, I know, me too. So today I registered for that retreat because I talked my husband into it. After being on the cruise with all those people, he was more than willing to pay whatever it is per night at that resort. It's a really nice place on the water. It's like $100 off of the normal rate during the retreat. And I don't know if I don't know how to call, but I'm excited. And Allegiant flies right into the airport that's right there, like every day from Flint. So it works out. We did fly standby on the way home, and it worked out perfect. It was great. And I got a free Mai Tai on the plane because Dave like has his badge, and they were like, "Is this your wife? What do you want?" And I was like, "Can I have a Mai Tai?" And they were like, "Yeah." So squeak out one last bit of vacation on the way home, but we came home to ice and snow, and then it iced some more yesterday. So it's been a brutal, like hitting a brick wall of winter, but we really had a great time, full of happy energy from all that vitamin D we absorbed. We got a little bit of sunburn. I had to I'm peeling a little bit. I hope but it was a great time. Great. I love spring breaks. We came back to school yesterday with like gusto because we're just like recharged. Coming back from winter break, Christmas is always brutal. Like all of January and February are like, just gag me with a spoon, get this kid on the bus type of tempo. But coming back from spring break, we're like, yes, March, April, May, let's bang this out. Let's get to summer break. We can do this. We can see it. And so anyway, so I'm back. And before I left, do you see this basket? I did it. Procrastination queen. That's me. I kitted up all of those. I'll talk about those in a bit. So, to my stitching. Is that what you want to talk about? Yeah. I talked about the cruise. That's all that's really happened. Yeah. Okay. So, before I left, the last time we spoke, it was Valentine's Day. And I was planning on starting this Valentine cross stitch by Emily Call from salt.pepper.stitching. And I did. And this is what I got done on Valentine's Day. All the fill in and the rest, it'll take me forever. But I got it started and I was happy about that. And then, I don't know what happened after that. The normal stuff. But now I have to show you some new starts. So I had, that was a new start since we last spoke. And then here's another one. I took this on the cruise with me to start on the cruise. It's by Jeanette Douglas Designs. And this was a sale that I believe Stitching Sherry. Is that true? And the Bougie Stitchers were stitching. And they were having a sale and I saw it and I ordered everything and I did not get invited. And it didn't matter because I just wanted to stitch it. But I'm stitching it on this raspberry, I think this is raspberry latte. Remember, I had this in haul, raspberry latte. When I had this for haul, I decided right while I was doing my floss tube that this would be what I stitched it on, and I love it. I'm stitching it over one. Listen, okay, because I like 18 count, and sometimes I do like 2 threads on 18 count. But I had so many amazing supportive comments about my issue with Hawk Hollow. And I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who bothered to tell me, you know, like, yeah, do a little bit to the positive and then pull some out. Or some people said to switch your fabrics or whatever. Every single comment I appreciated, I promise. I just needed some input, you know? So I only stitched on this for like, I think 2 days. I think the day at sea, and then I had started it the first night that we got on. And I really, really love this a lot. I'm using the called for floss, but this is on Raspberry Latte by Grace Notes Fabric. It's an 18 count. And I think it's beautiful. So those are my 2 new starts. I was working on my wordplay before I left. And I took it on the cruise with me. Is this right? Holy catfish, you guys. I had heard people say that when you get off a cruise ship, that's when you feel the motion. And that was so true. So true. Like today is the first day I don't feel weird. So I got a little bit done. I worked in a little bit on the cruise, and then I feel like I picked it up another day just because it was what was closest to me and I didn't feel like getting anything else out. Yeah, I don't know. And then since we're back to school, picked this back up yesterday. It has not seen a lot of progress, but I do love stitching on it, and I'm excited to pull it out next February or whenever it comes up again. So I got part of the log cabin done, the horse, got those words stitched. So I'm going to start March tomorrow. I haven't kitted it up yet. That's typical. But I just love stitching on those during school. Sometimes I find that when we go to watch TV together, we started Terminal List with Chris Pratt last night. I don't like it. It's too suspenseful. What's happening? Who's making him do that? I don't know. We've only watched 2 episodes. Don't ruin it for me. But so I took something down to work on and I finished that. And so then I picked that up because it's in the classroom, which is the living room. So those are my whips. Now I have finishes. I finished winter. I finished this before I left. I don't know what day. Everything before the cruise is a blur. But I love it. Don't you love it? I love it. Love that. It's by Emily Call again. Salt dot, pepper dot stitching, winter. I also, on the cruise, I took this. It's called Midnight Dreamer, and it was a nightmare. I severely underestimated this WIP. It was my WIP, one of my WIP goes. I thought, oh my God, I'll just wait until the end of the month, take it on the cruise. I'll get it done in a day. Oh my God. No, I did not. It took me forever. There were so many stitches in this thing. I started this on Halloween last year, and it took me forever, but I finished it. I stitched it at the airport. I stitched it on the plane. I stitched it on the cruise ship. I stitched it at the beach. I stitched it on the plane. It took me forever. Every day of my cruise, I put some of that ding-dang yellow in there. This border I did on the cruise, the whole thing, like, I had just a little bit done, or started. But I'm glad it's done. Holy catfish. I hate it when you get a fuzzy thing, and then it looks like... I'm glad it's done. Listen, I recommend stitching this. It's a fun stitch. Just don't cut yourself short on time, because there's a lot of ding-dang stitches in it, okay? This was on a Grace Notes fabric, I believe. I don't know what it is. I'm so sorry. I can put it down in the description box. But it had come in the mail for my subscription, and that happens to me a lot. I open up my Grace Notes fabric subscription, and I'm like, oh, I know, I'm going to use it for that thing that I'm going to start today, or whatever. So I took that WIP Go, and I took my other WIP Go, and then I took a couple other random things. This is my other WIP Go for February. Jack's Sweet Shop, the birthday tart. This was Katie, the Naptime Stitcher, her birthday sal from last year. And I posted my finished tart, and she commented on there, she's going to get started real soon. I died. This was a fun stitch. I stitched on this on the cruise as well. And then maybe Saturday night when I got home and I finished it. It didn't take me long. So then when I was herring, like, I was just a hairy mess over here. Kitting those up, getting everything ready to go on the cruise, and like deciding what to bring. A lot of people had said bring 3 little small projects and then like a big one. So I brought my commemorative cruise start with a Jeanette Douglas. But then I brought some little ones. I just was like digging through my WIP tub to find stuff for my Mania. It's my Madness. And I just started pulling out weird stuff. So I pulled out my March Barn Sweet Barn. I don't know why those one stitches look so scrawny. This is a Barn Sweet Barn. It's the Lori Holt center part of her flea market basket cross stitch pattern, and Pack Order Shop released different color combinations to do 1 per month, and I have a whole bunch of them done. I did not have March done. I had it started, and I don't know, you guys, you know, about 50-50 now. I think I'm about 50-50 now. I know I have January. February is up right now. This is March. April is done. May I took with me. I stitched this one on the beach at Coco Cay. Finished it. One of the little waitresses who was bringing around drinks or asking people if they wanted drinks, she stopped and she said, "Oh, what are you working on?" I said, "Oh, it's a cross stitch." She said, "Is it a quilt?" Because, you know, it does look like a quilt. It is a quilt block. And I said, "Oh, no, it's just a cross stitch." And so she said, "Oh, I don't have the patience for that." And I said, "Oh, well, I do it to relax. If I didn't stab this fabric, I'd probably stab humans." And she said, "Oh my goodness." She's like, "I totally understand. After my shift, I have to smoke." I died. I was like, well, I know the service industry is very difficult, but I don't think you should take it out on your own body. I think you should take up a hobby to relieve your tension. So I took both of these guys. They were in the box, and I finished both of them. This one I think is May. That one's March. I had April done. I finished May. So now I think I only need to do like June, July, August, September. I know I have October done. And I don't know about the rest. I don't know, guys. And I also grabbed this one. This is March sampler. I need to check make sure this wasn't on my Whip Go. It might have been on my Whip Go. Country Cottage Needleworks. I was part of the Fat Quarter Shop Club where they auto shipped it to you. And I had shared that during my whip parade, and I mentioned how I hated doing I didn't mind doing everything, but once I got up to where I had to repeat the things I'd stitched already, the motifs, I got real frustrated and I had to put it away for several days, weeks, months. And somebody said, how about you just don't stitch that? Or somebody said, I just don't want to stitch it all. And I was like, oh, yeah. That makes sense. So I decided I wasn't going to repeat the stitches. Just did it. I had the house done. All I had to do was the rainbows, the month, and then those flowers. The stems were even already done, and the back stitching was even done. Just don't look too close. I'm going to keep it moving so you can't see those window panes. They're a little bit funky because it's on, I think it's 16 count. So it's hard to do those window panes through the stitches, but I didn't stitch the white. I don't like the white month. I ended up stitching it in green. So I got this done randomly. It wasn't on any list. But now I'm wondering if it was on my Whip Go. I don't know, I guess. Oh well. I'll take a break, or maybe I'll replace it with something else. God knows I have enough whips to keep my Whip Go board full. So Whip Go for March was called, I think it was called the day that we were coming back. I had those weirdest messages coming through while we were on our cruise. You know, you don't have internet. You could pay for it, but I've heard it's not that great. A lot of people were on their phones the whole entire time, and I thought, you paid a lot of money to come sit at a dining table with your family and be on your phone. You could do that at home. But my Wordplay Wednesday group chat messages kept coming through. I could not send them. I couldn't reply, but I was like, oh, they're stitching. It's Wednesday. And good thing they did, because I forgot that it was Wednesday on Wednesday. So I did get some of those messages, and it was fun to see. Even if I couldn't reply, it was really weird. And then I kept getting really weird notifications, weather notifications from home. Couldn't open the app, but I was getting notifications. Anywho. But I think the first day that we got back to normal life, that was when Jessie called the Whip Go for March. I don't remember which numbers they were. I believe 2 and 22. You should just go check the official Whip Go page. But mine was called America the Beautiful. This was, I believe, this was a Mania start in 2021. I think. And then it got called for Whip Go in 2022. So it had seen the light of day in Mania 2022 and during Whip Go. So I have a lot done. I just had to fill in those flowers. And I'll show you the pattern again so you can see how much. I'm just going to take it a little bit at a time. All those flowers. The flag took a hefty amount of time. And I had seen somebody on the Stitching with the Housewives group stitch it on not on a black fabric, but on a coffee tea dyed. And they used the navy blue. And I love it. I love it a lot. I have some patterns of theirs that I really, really love. But I do not like stitching on black fabric. Unless it's in the summer, on the patio, no bugs. It hasn't rained the night before. It can't be damp. So I don't like stitching on the black fabric, basically. So I need to be more brave about stitching on different fabrics that I like. So my other Whip Go is Autumn Rules. I started this last StitchCon with my friend Megan. I met Megan at StitchCon. I met her on Instagram, kinda. She messaged me on Instagram and was like, I think we should go to a retreat. I think we'd be great friends. And I was like, okay, let's go. So then, the night before she was leaving, she drove from Texas. She said, I think we should start something together. I said, but what? And so we were like at home printing these off, and I think I had just dyed some fabric. So this is my, anywho, what I'm saying is, I started this last June is what I meant to say. I'm pretty sure Megan finished hers in a timely manner. I still have 2 sections left. Go on a hayride and make pumpkin pie. Yeah, so I have 2 sections left, you can see. So that's doable. Sure it is. Also, I'm starting a million new projects, so that's interesting. I'm going to go through haul, and then I'm going to talk about March Madness. Okay, here's the thing. Since I last saw you on the 14th. It's been my spending day. So on the 15th of February, I got to buy whatever I wanted. And this is only my self-imposed guideline. There's no restriction on myself. I can buy what I want. But I hate when I'm impulse buying so much that I have all these things coming through, and like I'll impulse buy something because I see it, but then I'm not going to stitch it for like 3 lifetimes from now. So there was no hurry. I didn't have to do it, you know. So anyway, so you know, it's always a big deal when I do my buying day. My subscriptions came while I was gone too. Let me show you those first. My Classic Colorworks. They're going alphabetical. I love them. My Gray Snows Fabric. Okay. And you know, they always send a sticker. I get the half colors, like colored stuff, and then half neutrals. And I shan't be trying to say this. This must be a musical. Is this a musical term? And the last time there was a musical name, and I didn't attempt to say it as well. Someone in the comments, I'm so sorry I don't remember your name, or your screen handle or whatever, took the time to write out the explanation for that musical term, and I was so appreciative. And like, I just thought it was really great that you spent the time to tell me what it was. So, it's really, really pretty. Like, it's like purpley. Oh, it's pretty. I'm not saying it, but it's so pretty. And, I don't know what I'll stitch on it yet. Add it to the collection. So those are my subscriptions. I had placed an order. I bought 2 patterns from Emily Call. I think I bought the spring and the St. Patrick's Day and the spring for that series that I've been stitching. The one with the, like the Valentine one. And then I placed an order from Kingsland Needle Art. I don't know what state they're in, but I ordered some Fiber on a Whim espresso. I've been looking for latte. I can't find it anywhere. If you see any 18 count latte somewhere in the world, will you let me know? I like it a lot. I guess I just want, I got a fat half. Is that not the same as a fat, as a half a yard? I don't know. I like it a lot, but I just want to get some more Fiber on a Whims in my stash. So probably next buying day, I'll probably buy another hunk of something. Because if this was espresso, there's another one I've been eyeing. Just as in like a nice neutral. I also bought Springtime. I have this specific piece that hangs in my living room. And right now I have something from Christmas on there. And then I have a finished piece that's patriotic that I keep up from like May through September because that's all I have. And then I need to stitch some things to go on that. So I've been keeping an eye out, and I thought this one would look good for spring. It's like this big square frame. I'll show it to you someday if I ever finish anything to go on it. I also ordered Spring Messenger by Scattered Seed Samplers. Thought it was really pretty. I believe that I just, in her categories, I went through and just looked at spring. This is Heart and Hand by Brenda Gervais. I just like it so much. And then I also bought Elizabeth Hunt 1845 by Brenda Gervais. I want to start a sampler soon, like a big one. So that's what I got from Kingsland Needle Art. I had ordered something else and they were out of it, so I don't know if I'll add it to my order in March or not. Maybe it was meant to be. So, about my haul. So on the 15th, I ordered those things. And I got my subscriptions. While I was in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, I met Alicia in real life. IRL. IRL. The Fanciful Flamingo and the Garden Goose Stitcher got together. Can you even? So the night before we were leaving, I was running around my room, packing and everything, and I made her and I matching project bags. Because obviously I'm going to Florida to meet the Fanciful Flamingo. So I wanted it to be bright and cheerful. And so I had some charm packs from Paradiso from Kate Spade. If you're a fabric person, you might know. But it's an older line. And I've had these in my stash for a long time. And I just thought, this is what they're meant to be. Project bags. So I made 2 bags. They're exactly the same except for they have a different zipper and different. I think hers was a grunge, but I didn't have enough. I only had a pick. And then I think there was a different color. I think I used a blue. But so we have matching project bags, and on Friday you got kicked off the cruise ship you had to be off by like 9 or something. We got off at 8, and so I texted her that I was sitting by the pool, and she's like, I'm coming to pick you up. She called me and she's like, I'm coming to pick you up. And I was like, okay. So she picks me up, and what does she have? A project bag for me. Okay. So I make a project bag thinking of her and her life in Florida, in paradise. And she makes me a barnyard one because I live out in the country up north. I thought it was so fun. I know someday she would like to live in someplace where she can have chickens, but her HOA is no fun. So she made me a bag. Isn't that hilarious? I made one that's wild and tropical, and she made one that's like my house someday. I thought that was so sweet. And so she takes me to the cross-stitch cupboard just to look. You know I didn't look. The cross-stitch cupboard, she has an amazing treasure trove of patterns. Just like so much to look through. And I like the way she had it set up. Alicia gets to go there whenever she wants. She has a really great LNS. So, so we went and we shopped for a while. This is what I got. Also, I don't even know how to explain how much I enjoyed meeting her. I feel like it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It was fantastic. She's fantastic. Like, I don't know. Could it have been the best part of my trip? Maybe. I bought Heart and Hand Summer Whirligig. Now I have to find the rest. Strawberry Song, Heart and Hand. Lizzie Kate. She had a good selection of Lizzie Kate. I'm not going to read these because they're backwards to me right now. And the fonts trick me up every time. And it makes it seem like I can't read. She had quite a bit of Lizzie Kate. I found another one of these. Remember I bought one of these a couple months ago on Etsy listing. Comes in a CD case with the fabric. So, bought that one. I had not seen this Gnomes in the Garden row. I have quite a few of these. In fact, I have a couple of these in my March Madness plans. But she had this one. Even comes with a little flower. So that's cool. I got this Farmyard Parade by Brenda Gervais. It's like Dave with his geese and me with my chickens. Perfect. This one, Fruit for a Song. Love that. Brenda Gervais is an older one, yeah. 2010. Yeah. I don't want to lecture. I know I shouldn't have bought another Hawk Run Hollow pattern when I haven't even fixed the problems with my first one that I barely even started. But collecting is a different hobby than stitching, so I know. Don't have to say it. I bought this because Alicia did, and I sense a sale coming. I think every time I say Sal, it makes her eye twitch. But I just want to be like her. Look at the original. Isn't that beautiful? She bought it, so I did too. I bought this one. This is an oldie. But I love those. And I can't even explain to you how much time we spend at our dining room table watching the birds at our feeder. Like, it's kind of weird. This one's cool. Birds of a Feather by Homespun Elegance. Love that. Very pretty. A real bird of a feather pattern. Bent Creek Autumn Soapbox. Now I think I have 3 of these. I think I have winter, summer, and autumn. I don't know. I have one more to look for, I think. Souvenirs of Summer. Blackbird. This one, that was fun. I really like this. And then we were talking about geese and how I'm into geese and how they're not very popular. And she's like, I bet you there's a freebie out in the freebie box out front. And sure enough, I don't know if I'll ever stitch it, but I did like it. So that's what I got at the Cross Stitch Cupboard with my friend Alicia. We got to meet in real life, and then we went to Starbucks, and it was really great just to talk in real life. I don't know how to explain it. I get to see her in April at the Teresa Kogut retreat. That'll be here before we know it, you guys. And Tammy's coming, and Alicia's going to be there, and I don't know who else, but I'm really excited. And my friend Jackie is. My next retreat is actually in March. Did I tell you guys about StitchCon? I told you that I signed up for the beach retreat. So in March, my local needle workshop is having her last retreat. She's closing Stitches and Things. And so I'm not even staying at the hotel. I'm just going to drive over there. It's 10 minutes from my house. And then in April, I'm going to Teresa Kogut. And then I canceled StitchCon in June. And I don't want to talk about it. It's really hard for me to leave in the summer. Between chicks and gardens and everything, it's really hard for me to go. And we're wanting to go to Washington, D.C. for a weekend trip in May. And I could not imagine, like, I feel like I've left my house every month. We left in December, we went to Florida. In January, we went to Stitch Away. February, we went on our cruise. March, I'm going to another retreat. April, I'm going to a retreat. May, we want to go to Washington, D.C. to cap off our history curriculum for homeschool. And so I couldn't imagine leaving in June as well, when June is hard. Last time, the whole time I was at StitchCon, I mean, I enjoyed myself, obviously, and it was wonderful to meet people and to spend time with Megan. But the whole time I was thinking, I'm going to miss strawberry season. We're not going to have strawberry jam. So I decided to cancel it. I told Alicia that in the car, and she was like, yes, now I'm number 52 or something. I was like, it's a lot of people. It's hard for me to get away. And so I just decided that I wouldn't go this year. And I need to be more, I don't know. I was telling Tammy that when I'm retired from homeschooling and when we paid off our house, I want to be like her and go to all the retreats. But for right now, I need to be more picky so that I can balance my life a little bit better. So I canceled my StitchCon. So if you're on the wait list for B, you just moved up. But then I'm going to Stitch New England in October, which will be nice because the timing of that one is like perfection for me. But and then I'll go in February. So I don't know. Anyway, what were we talking about? The retreat. Oh, and then I'll see Alicia in April at Teresa Kogut. So yeah. So I'm excited about that. So that's what I bought. I got to meet the flamingo. And so March starts tomorrow. I made a lot of decisions on my March Madness, which I'm basically just doing the same method as Mania. I'm not doing brackets. like all the fun people, although I'm loving watching them come up in my feed. But I'm basically just doing it like Stitch Mania, but in March, because I'm too busy in May. So I went through before I left. It was a giant mess. It took me like an entire day, and I didn't get anything else done. I don't think I made dinner. I think we had to eat out. And I organized everything. I did decide to attack a series that I'm almost done with, and it ended up being my Lizzie Kate Flip Its, my months. I think I had 3 left. June, July, August? Yes. So I ended up having 3 old whips from Mania 21 and 2 old whips from Mania 22. And so I put those in the rotation where they were when they originally were stitched, and I'll keep them in there. Somebody else has a really great March Madness video. She has like this giant board where she like keeps it organized, and she has pictures of each project until they're finished. And anyway, I like that, but I don't have room for a poster board. I've thought about it a lot. So my Wednesdays are still going to be wordplay. My Sundays are still going to be Sabbath Stitches. I have my 5 old whips, and then I have a lot of new starts, 13 new starts. 3 of them are Flip Its, and then the rest are just like a mismatch. I decided to go for spring stuff because I do not have a single finished Valentine's, St. Patrick's, or even spring, really. I don't have anything. So that's what I focused on. So on Wednesday, tomorrow, it'll be Wordplay Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm going to start Romance. I have it kitted up. Do you do this when you do a lot of, well, maybe you're not doing it. But when I do Mania, that's how I usually end up kitting things up. Just put it in a bag. Because I'm stitching, I wanted to stitch this little goose. It's going to be a bad glare. And it's really tiny. The picture is terrible as well. It's just that little goose with the heart on it. I thought I liked it. Didn't have a blue bow. And then I'm going to stitch Shamrock Row by Bent Creek. And then I'll have my Sabbath stitch. And then a whip comes up. And guess which one? My arch nemesis. Summer by Cricut Collection. This was Mania 2021. Mania 2022. Whipco 2022. And I'm only to the 2nd M. And so, and then on the 7th, I'll stitch my Flip It June. So, got everything in there. So, I'm going to go, I'll be back next week to tell you all about it. Tell you if I've quit. I'm not going to quit. I am so anxious for, I'm going to start seeds like tomorrow. Literally. I'm going to bring my dirt from the garage into the house tonight to warm up. I'm going to bring my big thing in. Anyway, you know, if you're still here, you already know I'm weird, so it's fine. I love you guys too. But, so anyway, I'm going to start seeds and stitch my way through March, and then by April, I'll plant peas, I don't know. And then in May, I can garden and not feel like a failure in Mania. So anyway, so those are my plans. That's my update. I'll be back next week. I want to tell you about my madness as I go. And anyway, plus like markets coming in, like we'll all know how many things we want to buy. But I'm not buying anything. Not till the 15th. So I didn't pre-order nothing because I'm good. But thanks for stopping by, checking in. I feel kind of scattered because it was a lot today. And I have a lot coming up. Self-imposed. None of it stresses me out. I'm excited. All of this is excited, scattered. Excitement. So, I'll talk to you next week. I hope you have a wonderful week. And happy stitching, friends. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you next week. Goodbye.